Hello people, this is Mike doing a second. This is Let's Play Dark Cloud the Demon Shaft, and now we are taking on levels 51 to, it's either 70 or 69, so anyway. Not really much to talk about here. I will point out a few different things, but then I'm going to go on to a subject that possibly going to be a weird subject that I probably shouldn't talk about when I'm talking about anyway. And I just want to say, I didn't really talk about this last video, but these mask guys fucking suck on this level. Most of the enemies are very easy. These guys are fucking ridiculous because they're a lot harder to fight because they constantly block your attack unless they're about to hit you. And if you're too far away and you attack, they're able to guard. So you kind of got to get them in to attack you and then use your firepower to fight back, so... And yeah, these fish guys, as I've said, they go in a straight line, so circle around them and you can kill them. Sadly, that does not work for the space ones, so you're just going to have to wait until they stop at the space ones. So, yeah. Not really much to talk about, but there's something I wanted to talk about in terms of not talking about this game. It can actually lead to about this game, because there was a moment, but basically I got done I didn't watch the full thing, but I watched a decent amount of the Women versus Tropes 2 for video games, Damsels in Distress, and I fucking hate, I hate that woman, and if you guys don't know, you can go look it up. It's a stupid person who believes that there are giant tropes in video games that, basically women are being victimized or being shown as weak in video games, and it's affecting society, therefore she needs to talk about it. And it's absolutely ridiculous, and she's wrong all the time, basically. Hell, one of her videos was so fucking wrong that she actually deleted it. It had to do with the, what was it? The, Bayonetta girl. And a lot of it, what she was talking about, was wrong so much that she deleted the video. So yeah, no. But I guess it's time to talk about it a bit more, I guess. Apparently the situation is that, again, it apparently victimizes and objectivizes women, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Because the ideal that the damsel in distress thing is affecting that, or it's such a bad deal that it is... Because her belief currently, or at least from the looks of it, is that just because they are using it, that makes it a bad thing. It makes it a horrible thing just because it's being used. And it should never be used at all, basically. And some people might think, well, she didn't say that indirectly. She didn't, but basically that's what she's pointing towards. Because I could understand the ideal of video games showing women's weak if the damsel in distress thing was used way too often. But it's not. Is it still in video games? Now and again, but it depends on how it's being used. You know, some video games use it for an extended period of time, and, you know, and sometimes they use it for multiple times. But that doesn't make them bad parts. It's the ideal to help have an emotion for the character, help people connect to the character, especially if you are in a relationship. And it's ridiculous that apparently it's affecting that somehow damsels in distress is affecting women in real life. That's absolutely ridiculous. And completely stupid, because it's not. I mean, she even thinks situations like where Tones was really willing to risk his life to save Paige. She would probably look at that and say, oh, well, you know, that's a damsel in distress situation right there, and all of a sudden she's a trophy wife, and it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Because that's not what it's doing. Oh, it's an easy plot device, so it shouldn't be used at all. I'm sorry, what? It's a classic one. It's one that developers use because it's easy to connect with someone who's in a relationship. Because that's what love is. We really can't distinguish love in relationships. Because love is something that really connects two people together. I mean, you can have friendship and whatnot, but love is something, depending on how two people are in love and what they're in love about, it can really affect somebody. I mean, in real life, if someone were to, let's say, take or attack their loved one, how much reaction would someone get out of that? That you'd get a lot of reaction out of that, out of somebody, and that's why it's a good idea for video games, because it gives a huge motivation for the player to basically go on into the plot. Is it an easy plot device? Yeah, but it's not a bad one. And it's absolutely ridiculous, because I could understand if it was used constantly. But when you say that, oh, well, women are being objectified as, you know, little weaklings just because of that, and she was also saying that, well, there are... Basically, in her first video, she talks about one of the women being absolutely, being weak in one of the Double Dragon games. Well, at the end of the game, turns out that the woman got the last shot off at actually defeating the asshole who kidnapped her. which she was before trying to basically make fucking... She was trying to use that as one of her main examples. Yet in the beginning of this one, she was trying to cover her tracks and say, well, situations like that where they either lash out or they get the final blow in is after... is either... doesn't really affect anything at all. Therefore, it's still wrong. It's still a bad thing. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, let me guess what's supposed to happen. All of a sudden the damsel gets kidnapped, but all of a sudden the damsel fight back. She wins, therefore no video game. Your $60 is just spent on 60 seconds. There you go. Everything's fine. What? Are you fucking kidding me? Come on. I mean, I understand the ideal that maybe there needs to be more female protagonists, but really... You know, there's a whole different thing than just saying, well, they shouldn't objectify women in damsels in distress. I'm sorry, what? You're blaming something else? She's crying for attention in this case, and she's an absolute... And I can understand if she made legitimate arguments, but she's not. She's coming up with excuses. She's trying... It's the feminist mentality of that there's always something going on, therefore you need to attack something out there, at the very least. Is like currently there's something on Facebook about trying to stop all forms of bad mouthing of you know, really of humorous situations of Facebook abuse of women or something like that. Like I know it sounds stupid, but like some of the jokes that you know, 2 in 3 women are hit by their boyfriends or something like that, and it says 1 out of 3 men aren't doing their job. And, you know, it's just a stupid fucking joke. Is it a horrible joke? Yeah. You know, but, oh, well, that needs to be banned on Facebook now. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry, can you not take a joke? Can you not? It's fucking ridiculous. And I also want to make a decent point against the feminist video is that, the feminist frequency shit, is that, oh, well, women are always weakened in video games. Well, how about this? Most men in video games are the evil person. Yeah, it's when you think about that, it's true. Most people the men are evil. Guess what? In this game, it was a guy from, I believe, the West, or was it the East, who, you know, opened the lantern and became you know, who hurt everybody, who killed people, and of course the genie took him over, but the man was the one who caused it in this case. And it's just like, there are many different video games like that. Infamous 1 and 2, it was basically a guy who was the main antagonist, and even the sub-antagonists of the game. All of them, besides possibly the very first one, was, the very first of the bad guys was a male character. And they were the evil ones, you know, but yet you don't see guys bitching about it because they understand that it's not a trope versus men to show men being evil. It's just, that's the ideal of the plot, that's the character. You know, that's how everything works. You know, it's hard to say because it's just basically that's how the person is. That's how the game is. I mean, you can't just get rid of gender. I'm sorry, you can't, you know, pretend it doesn't exist. You know, in that sense. I mean, here's the thing. You need to pretend it doesn't exist in the case of, wow, someone's being kidnapped and their love is trying to save them. You know, that's a situation that us gamers look at it as, for at least for the most part. But for these, you know, for this feminist woman, she's a person who looked at, well, apparently the weakened female is being saved by the overpowered male. You know, it's just like, ugh, it's fucking ridiculous. It's stupid. I know I really shouldn't talk about this that much because I don't really want to make this too much of a political discussion, but it has to do with video games. And I think it's something important to talk about because it's ridiculous that anyone would try to defend. It's because people are defending this. People donated to this bitch, and now she's completely ridiculous about how she's dealing with it. I don't know, it's ridiculous. I mean, I can think of just tons of cases currently in the back of my mind where men are the villains, especially older men, too. So trying to say, well, young, sexy females are the ones being saved. Maybe that's just the ideal that it's a young gamer who's a young male gamer who's playing this, so they want to think of a young female that they're saving. Same thing how they would look towards having an evil guy, you know, thinking of an older person who tries to take control of people, like a politician or something like that. Something like that is a case where someone, that's how you kind of feel it, because that's how it feels like in real life. I can also think of other games. Medieval, it was an evil old guy who did everything. Technically Infamous 1, not Infamous 2. Well, actually, the one of the bosses in Infamous 2 was an evil old guy. I'm trying to think of other situations, but there's tons out there that I can think of. It's always men are always the ones who are evil. You'll find situations where you'll find female is evil, but usually they're either very very intelligent, young, and beautiful, but all in evil, or also kind of intelligent, maybe even sophisticated at times. And, you know, that is a situation where, guess what? You could say that's tropes versus fucking men, but you don't hear men complaining about that because they realize it's just a plot device. It doesn't really matter if they're male or fucking female. It's a goddamn video game. They're characters, and sometimes they want the gender of the characters to work. I mean, you could also complain that there's no fucking gay relationships out there, something like that. It's ridiculous that someone's trying to fight it like this. If it was a situation where it was mostly like that, we could complain, but it's not. So shut the fuck up. And by the way, I can understand disabling comments because of how people are, but don't disable your fucking ratings, because at that point you know that you're doing something wrong if you have to disable your own fucking ratings because it's getting that much bad attention. And it's just and it's probably a situation where she thinks to herself, well, everyone thinks that I'm wrong, therefore I'm speaking the truth, and they hate the truth. So, so therefore I'm right, which is absolutely ridiculous. All because even if this was a fallacy of just because everyone thinks you're wrong, that doesn't make them right. Yeah, I get that. That's a fallacy of, what's it called? The fallacy of popular fall? I forget what it is, but basically it's just because everyone believes it doesn't make it true. I get that. That's a fallacy. However, thinking that just because that's a fallacy makes you right, no, that's a fallacy of a fallacy. Just because someone is using a fallacy does not mean that you are right. It just means that their argument is wrong, not that what they are trying to prove is wrong. So, it's something people really need to realize. And basically, everyone already hates the bitch. So, for the most part, even a lot of women out there, like, what was it? Lucagen. I don't watch her stuff, but even she was against, some of the comments people were putting towards her, and I am too. I mean, I get where people are coming from. I get why people are doing it, because, people on the internet are assholes, but you can't blame trolls for stuff like that. But, I agree with her. That's wrong, but there are tons of strong female characters, and if you're supposed to say that, oh, well, they're sexy, I'm sorry, but I think, what was it, Jessu Otaku pointed out this really well in one of her reviews of an anime show, was that, some of the girls were acting very ridiculous. One of the girls, and I think it was like the Witch Blade or something like that, their outfits were extremely fucking fan servicey. And instead of looking at that and saying, well, that's absolutely ridiculous, that's, women should be objectified by this, she looks at it and says, well, I like stuff like this. And she showed something from, what was it, Oran something high school, I think it was, where one of the guy characters was biting a piece of food out of the other guy's mouth or something like that. And that's fan service to girls, and that's something that needs to be pointed out to some of these fucking girls out there, these feminists, because there's a difference between how men and women are attracted to males and how they're attracted to fan service. For guys, it's just girls getting naked for the most part, but for girls, it might be a little bit more complicated. But, that's just our human nature. That's something we can't get around, and guess what? It doesn't mean we should change it just because it's human of us. It doesn't mean we need to change it all. I don't know. It's ridiculous, and I should probably drop this now, since we are getting up to 2 more floors until we are done with this. So I just wanted to find something to talk about, and I figured that'd be something good. Because the girl's stupid, and she deserves most of the hate she gets. Nothing that's abusive or anything, or, death threats and shit. But at the same time, a situation where, nothing like that, but in a situation to say that, hey, guess what? You're wrong because you're wrong, and just because people think you're wrong, everyone thinks you're wrong, doesn't make you right. So, that doesn't make them right, but that doesn't make you right either. So, get over yourself. So, yeah. But anyway, we're getting off this floor, and at first when I got off this, I'm like, oh, this has to be like the worst floor with these fucking masked guys. Nope. The next set is possibly the worst in the entire game from 60 to 80. It's probably one of the worst, and I'm not gonna look forward to it. I'll tell you that right now. So, what you gonna do? Bum, 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 bum. I gotta stop singing. God damn it. It's goddamn enjoyable though. I'll tell you that much. And then after this, I'll probably render both videos. The last one and this one, and then I'll get ready for the next two. I believe I only have 2. No, I think I have 3 more to go. No, I have 2. Yeah. Do I? I don't know. I had 4 videos when I last looked. Because sadly, levels, I believe either 89 or 90 to 99 is basically I have 10 floors, and that took an hour to do. That's how difficult the last level was, but it was a lot more fun. Like, I think just luck wasn't on my side in these cases. Actually, I'm sure in some of these floors, you don't get the key until the very last person. I don't know if it was just my luck, but it feels that way. So, yep. See, this is what I get when I don't have anything to rant about. There's nothing really else to talk about. I talked about the Mario Tennis thing earlier, so not really much to talk about there. I don't really talk about games I'm doing. Really, you know, I'm thinking about doing Infamous, Ace Combat 04. I have an idea for Dark Cloud 2. Not yet, but in the future. God, what else? Me and my girlfriend might do a section of the Pikmin stuff in Nintendo Land. Because she's really enjoying that, and I think it'd be really cute if we did that together. So, yeah. Having a pretty good relationship with her this currently, like this fierce, like I think this is like the first week of her summer of us just being together, just the 2 of us, and not like together, but like without school or anything, and it's really nice. And we're done. I think we're done, guys. Am I, or did I leave early? Are we done? We can't be done already, are we? No. I must have... Oh, I think I came back after the 10th floor to save. Yep. I sell my shit and then I go back. Okay, that's what I did. Because, yeah, as you can see, I got lots of fucking poison shit. Yeah, I got like 50 fucking spaces. I got a few more of those, a few more Dran's feathers. And I go, yep, I go right back to the demon shaft. Okay, so... I was about to say, what the fuck? Why did I leave? I'm like, the video looks like it's only at, like, what, 17 minutes now? So, I should not be ending it yet. Alright, so now we got the new sets. This one's possibly the worst. Just because the monsters you face are really fucking annoying. Okay, so now at first we got these silver gears. These guys fucking suck. They're basically the new skeletons in this area. Oh yeah, these guys also a pain in the ass because sometimes they shoot very fast. Basically, the trick to find out when they're firing at you, when they move at all, just when they're just moving and they're not getting ready to attack you, the wheels are moving. When they're not moving, they're getting ready to attack you, don't fire. Now, the reason why I think these silver gears and another enemy we're going to face later, which is the card version, I think the issue is when I fight them, I really feel like when they're shooting at me, that they shouldn't have hit me. By the way, we got the wind versions here, so. But anyway, I think that when they're fighting me, I really think they shouldn't be hitting me. And I think it's because that when the actual animation for the shot goes off, like if you notice, when they actually shoot the weapon, it doesn't shoot out of their weapon, it actually shoots like a foot away from them, starting. So it really catches you off guard, so you really gotta be backed away and moving around in front of... Oh yes, these bomber heads. Be careful, I totally forgot about this. But when these guys blow up, they, out here I'm trying to figure out elements. I'm like, what the fuck would work? Fuck it, just stick with the regular shit. And they explode. I almost forgot about that, so... Well, I did forget about that, and I got lucky by not being close to the motherfucker. So, be careful about that shit. See, it's just these guys, they're a pain in the ass. There's a lot of them that just hit you, and I really have to waste my time healing. And that's why I decided to just say, that's why I really wish I had the drain ability here. So, you know, do the trick I showed you. If you need to, I'll make a video in the tips and tricks video, playlist video. I'll do one for Dark Cloud, and in that Dark Cloud video. Now, these guys are fucking awesome, because these guys basically can't hurt you. These space guys, as I've said, they follow you, but you can hit them a lot before they even try chasing you. So just do that. what was it? I think you can get to like 337. I did a critical there. I think you can get to like 330 or 376 damage before it actually chases, and then one more, and then it chases after you in terms of how close you get to it if you have the max everything. So do that if you have to. But yeah, besides that, most of the enemies in this game are absolutely ridiculous. And it's either this one or the next section, but basically we run into... the Cursed Roses are nice too, because they're not that bad. But that's the thing though, the monsters that... It's funny, because it's like half and half with this level. Because the monsters that aren't that bad aren't that fucking bad. But the monsters that are bad are really fucking bad. The only one who's kind of in between are the Gemrons, but other than that, they're really just kind of a pain in the ass, most of them. I believe this crab has the key this time. No. I think that was the last one, so yeah. Not really that much of a pain in the ass, and they do blow bubbles at you, and I believe that'll freeze you, so be careful. Or possibly get you in gooey, so be careful. See? They blow bubbles of death. And that was a Satan's ring, so, I remember seeing that, and I'm just like, what, I was always thought what the Satan's ring might be, what it might look like. And basically, it just looks like Satan's head on the ring. Like a devil goat horned like Satan. I always find that funny that Satan always looks like a goat, or at least in a lot of the like Christian like fantasies. And I always find that, not really fantasies, but I don't know. I'm not a Christian, so I usually say myths. But whatever you look at it, I always find it funny that it's a goat, cause it's I don't know, I always find that kind of funny because goats really aren't people you see as scary. So maybe back then, but not nowadays. Now here are the heart versions. These guys also have projectiles, and you just have to be far away. She's definitely a lot easier to dodge, and also I believe you can steal was it chicken from her? You can steal something good for her. I forgot what it was. I think it was premium chicken, so that was pretty nice. And here's the other guy you have to fight, who's a pain in the ass, which is a palette swap of the mask guys, which is the Alexanders. Their sword seems longer and it seems like they're faster, sadly. But the worst part is that they don't have the poison spray, but instead they have a fire blast. And they shoot it from far away and it's fast. And kind of like the Bishop Q, it can hit you from far away. Or it has kind of like an AoE effect. At least like a little AoE effect, so you can run into it basically. So they're really a pain in the ass, and it seems like they guard even more than the mask guys. So it's just, like I said, when they're bad, they're really fucking bad in this level. Oh boy. So yeah, 5 or possibly 4 more floors to go, so funny enough, I decided to skip it because I didn't like what I was saying about the whole tropes versus women thing. My response to that, so I figured I would instead, see, at this point, I really wish I would have just grabbed a, stamina potion, but then when I realized I need it, I'm just like, well, what's the point of getting it now? My girlfriend just sent me a text. Am I alive? She was really tired later today. I love it. We were talking about that yesterday. If you've ever fallen asleep before and you wake up, like at a weird time of the day, and you wake up and you just feel like you've woken up into a new fucking world, or like you basically slept for a day. That's really funny. But no, basically when I turned off the footage for Audacity, it crashed. And I don't have my double recording thing going. I don't know why, but I don't have it going, so I find that kind of funny. So it's just like, hey, I just averted a fucking crisis. Woohoo. Let's just hope we don't hit it this time, or I'm gonna be pretty pissed, because these things are pretty fucking boring. Not much to fucking talk about. I guess I could say this. I'm really annoyed that they called the space gyron still the space gyron in here, because it's like, it's not in fucking space. Come on. I don't know, that kind of annoyed me a bit. Maybe it shouldn't annoy me, because like there's like, you know, kind of like with the captains, there's like 1,000 of them, so. So it probably shouldn't, but I'm just like all blah about it. I'm fucking tired. I really wish I just could get up and get something to drink, but I hate to leave you guys hanging, and because this is post-commentary and the way I record this, I can't just stop the video, sadly. would if I could. Oh, fuck. I got one of those weird muscles, like, in the front of my chest. That just feels like it wants to pop. That's one of the weird things about the Space Gyro ones, too, is that sometimes they, like, when you get close, it looks like they're doing the animation to move, but they're not actually moving, and I don't know why. A weird either glitch or oversight within the, because of the whole game. So, yeah. You know, these guys are really strong, but I've been kind of curious about how strong the fucking back levels must be. And I'm actually curious about what monsters are back there. I know I went in there back, I believe it's the same amount of monsters, because I did go back dungeon one time for the first 10 floors. But this time I'm kind of, I don't know. I wonder if they're doing the same thing each time, and I wonder how strong they are, especially the last one. I don't know. I've thought about doing some funny shit for the future. Making it so that I don't know, do some more funny stuff with Dark Cloud, like I do like the back dungeon for one of the places, or I defeat some of the bosses with certain characters, or I go back and fight the Dark Genie if I can with the thing you get after you beat the Demon Shaft. See how fast you can do it and how funny it would be. So yeah. It's funny, too, because it's like I almost always used Michael throughout the majority of the game, and now for all of the Demon Shaft, basically, I'm using Mittens. And, again, it's for good reason. Ranged fighters are better, in my opinion, because they can stand away from the danger, and it's just, they're a lot better. And, again, I think Mittens is better because she can fire a lot more. Osmond gun, or when I play the game Bugs, is also a good idea, but I've never really used him, and he's kind of a pain in the ass to use because you get him so late in the game, so... I'm just wanted, and if you guess what, as I've said, if you want to go for another melee fighter, I'd probably recommend Justin. Though make sure you get a long sword for that, because the weapon I got with the critical on it, the 5-inch nail, was fucking short as hell. It was so hard trying to kill enemies with that fucking thing. See, these guys aren't that hard. You get hit every now and again, but oh yeah, no, you steal stamina drinks for them. Yeah, at some point I say fuck it, and I start using the stamina drinks, because I'm like, well fuck, if I'm getting them from them, might as well use them, so... So yeah, you still stamina drinks. At this point, I'm just like, fuck it, and this really speed things up, so... What I probably should have done is you can actually equip the stamina drinks, and you actually have an animation for eating and drinking items in the game. So if you actually go and select them like you do the Dran's Feather. I never really showed it because I forgot about that, because it's more effective to do it from the item screen. And you can also stack them, like you can get like you can't stack the Dran's Feathers, but you can stack, possibly because you have to use them up, and the game can't keep track of using them up. But for the stamina drinks, you can stack them into one little quick slot. So it's something I never really did, but it's an interesting idea. I think they used it a lot better in Dark Cloud 2, but I forgot. I really do fucking hate these guys. Trust me, after I got to the next level, as much as it was harder, I was so much fucking happier. I do have to say. Yeah, when you're in, I don't know if I've noted this, but when you're in the stamina form after you've been poisoned, I believe you take like one more set of damage after you're poisoned. Like you do like one more damage is done to you. Like set of damage. But after that, the poison's gone after you use the stamina drinks. I don't know why. I'm guessing because it was one of those status effects. No, this is 69, I believe. Especially looking at the video time, I believe I stop here. So, yep. I know, weird number to stop on, lol. It's 69. That's a sexual joke. So funny, ha ha ha. So many cursed roses, and it's like, oh hey, pirate shirt. Thanks for trying to rape me. They catch you off guard too. I hate that too when I get stuck and I accidentally press one of those things. That's something, I forgot how they do that in the next game, but I do like it if games would not make it that selecting an item, you know, and fighting a monster are the same buttons. So, I mean, this was level 5's first game, so I give them a lot of slack for some cases. And again, they put out a beautiful game for what they did for their first project. So yeah. Pretty cool. Not really much else to talk about. I guess I could talk about the Xbox One for the next little dark cloud thing, because that thing is one hell of a fucking mess. And I believe we stop here. I think I stopped here because I forgot if, I don't know, I think at first I think my original thought was, gee, I wonder if whether or not if I go to the next level, I'll enter the next set of monsters, and I don't want to hit that yet. Oh wait, I forgot to end the video here. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll catch you guys next time. This is Mike Jr. II, signing out.